ideal. Maryland, my Maryland.
I-70 West, Fort Frederick. Weird.
Why are you braking up? Because you're taking the last second exit.
Then use either lane to stay to the left to I-95 North or Baltimore, New York.
footage. Something tells me that this dumbass coming up next to me.
It's time to pop that top. And fellas, I know you're ready to rock.
Reviews. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
A warm and fuzzy fun weekend lifts you into 25th annual That's Expo, shall we?
I'll just headed right back. You're the one that's sitting at the light and you're taking off both fucking lights.
Year in front of our station, available by writing or by visiting the station studio address 275 Radio Road, Hanover, PA 17331. Once again, thanks for listening to Rocky 98.5 and have a great day. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding.
Oh.
NASA selected Mission, Louisiana as the production facility for the Saturn rockets.
acquired a site for the Manned Spacecraft Center, a space testing program south of Houston. Then, George took Del and me hand in hand, and we went over to Bob Siemens' office, Fisher remembered. He wanted to give the report to Siemens. The scuffed cable wedged against the bottom of the door was not originally intended to cross the tubing at the joint, nor was it originally intended. PA from 1949 on, who wrote papers on esoteric problems in boundary layer theory and heat transfer. While Shea reveled in pressure and complexity and the clash of personalities, Lowe saw
H9, designed to image great swaths of enemy territory, was even capable of an operation as tricky as sat-squared photography. Hexagon and Gambit out of the equation. NRO's efforts rested with the digital KH-11 cannon, the only member of the Keyhole family capable of
Oh my God, it's raining!
label it, and take it to the appropriate repository.
Bro, turn my hazards on, because no one else is going to know what's happening.
Use the right lane to take the I-95 South ramp.
Apollo is the most complex job in the world. Therefore, every part has to be as complicated as possible. And that was exactly backwards. What they should be trying to do was figure out...
Take the next left, then turn left.
design it, build it, fly. Red flags kept coming up. So, with weeks to go, he, Aaron Cohen, Chris Kraft, and me.
Later, he had sent Betty Field to Piccadilly Arsenal to study pyrotechnics. They hadn't worked together since Mercury.
At the roundabout, turn left on State Route 99. Then you...
The base of the launcher. Not until AS-501 was several hundred feet off the ground and its plume of flame lit from the launch. One guy who was Mr. Spacecraft 101, one who was Mr. 102, and so forth. For the first manned vehicle, Spacecraft 101, upon which not only North America's future, but the future of the...
He knew from the outset that he and his team had their backs to the wall. NASA was now in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. By June 1979, with uncertainty over where and when the Skylab would come down, entrepreneurs were selling beanie hats, advertised as Skylab early warning devices. When falling wreckage hit you on the head, first frontline Grumman F-14A Tomcat squadron. There was an Air Force tanker pilot who'd listened to reports of Neil Armstrong walking on the moon on Voice of America from the cockpit of AC-135 over Laos. And the Black Air Force combat target, Spiral, should form the basis of the Soviet order. Former Riveryacht engineers produced a proposal for and called MECO, Main Engine Cutoff, then applied forward pressure
exit right. Then use either lane to stay to the left to I-4 East toward Orlando.
Greatest when something unusual was happening, which was at just that moment when the controller had the most urgent need to concentrate. Once the controller...
I like people the way I like my tea. In a bag, underwater.
Like Bridgel has been no more successful in pulling himself away.
This is freaking insane.
Instantly retrieved from his memory the salient information and given it to his man in the front row. It was cut and dry. Examined less clinically, the decision was not that clear. I thought I was right, Payout said years later with the call he was about to make. In some cases, the managers would get together and decide that nothing was being accomplished by this kind of devotion, and that it would really be better if people went home for a few hours and slept in a comfortable bed. But most, until at the end of the sequence, he would be in the right position for the jettison. In the process, Lovell brought the command module's guidance system, so recently aligned, perilously near gimbal lock. Once more in Armstrong was now in the hospital and found his historic first words, pointing out that without any of the sentence made no sense. Was all unjoined Armstrong was
I can see him use my
services. Together, they spent 2 hours and 40 minutes gathering 21 lunar rods and deploying some simple experiments.
New York, get out of the way!
The scientists would get more attention than the
No, he's yelling out. He's one down.
6 hours. The LEM, with its systems gurgling in a
Idiot.
noisy place to sleep. Was all unjoined Armstrong was
I can see him use my services.
Together, they spent 2 hours and going to land downrange from the planned spot. Irregularities in the gravitational field of the moon, called mascons, had played tricks with navigation again. That one was a little worrisome. The velocity was 20 feet per second, FPS, too high for the first time bail. For some reason, the same organization that could pronounce DPS as DIPS without feeling obliged to stick in a vowel, usually abbreviated Flight Dynamics Officer as FIDO. Among the members of the trench, it was...
What?
Lanes. Thompson asked,
Multiple lanes merging ahead.
Thompson asked, why him?
Just one fuel.
In 1.9 miles. Turn left. Then turn left.
Oh my god.
And keep at least one fuel cell working. Why that? He said sharply. I don't understand that sign. If you wanted to keep the fuel
it's
cell
from Maryland.
why pull out
Shocker.
some sorts of oxygen? We want to save the surge tank, which we will need for entry.
Well, again, so many people have run over these things that they put up the little piles to block people from parking here.
Yeah.
And, you know, if people have
indoctrinated into the discipline of real time, whereby every step in every procedure and virtually
Hey, you can't park there.
that the astronauts made had to be mapped out long in advance. They learned that they, having assembled the people who would work on it for a preliminary assessment, he would prowl back and forth in front of the blackboard, tall and lean, wide white grin, flashing blue eyes, waving the chalk, stopping periodically to scribble on the board.
charger.
You go, bro.
A little bit slower. You are sure then you want to close it? Seems to me we have no choice. Well,
Mark had come to believe that mankind's destiny was to colonize space.
that called for the mission to be aborted. It was Retro's responsibility to tell the flight director what had to be done to return the spacecraft to Earth. Retro had to know the attitude the spacecraft must assume.
Single-manned Apollo flight had launched. An audacious decision to reorganize the Apollo flight schedule, to send Apollo swinging around the moon, had already been made. Came up over the horizon. It was too much, ripping a slab off the starboard wing. He nursed the shaken jet back to
I
base.
finally got to see Bright Light in
Battled
person.
with the nickname Slap.
That's awesome.
He was luckier than Leaky, the squadron mate who
God damn. Alright, how much is their gas right now?
Turn left.
Signs that
Then
say-
turn right on DR's Bruce and Lee Foundation Boulevard. Turn left.
Only there's a plane.
Launch large boosters on a rapid schedule. Cost was set in. By summer, Patrol was pushing ahead with plans for a mobile launch system. But by doing so,
Space Commerce Way.
Crackle Rock.
Oh, Maryland, my Maryland, avenge the patriotic gore that's like the streets of Baltimore, and be the battle queen of yore. Maryland, my Maryland, hark to an unwritten son's appeal. Maryland, my mother state to the ideal. Maryland, my Maryland.